Okay. John, why don't you go ahead and give us an update on your
Yeah.
clipboard tool.
What I would like to share with you is the changes in Quick Access Popup related to Quick Clipboard Editor. So the capability to launch commands to manage to change your clipboard from Quick Access Popup, so from the menu you use every
Cool.
day. But before, just as an appetizer, one of the last changes or addition to Quick Clipboard Editor was the ability to edit images inside, not inside,
Oh yeah, I
outside,
remember that.
but from
Yeah.
Q. So I mentioned that maybe last time we talked, it was not yet available. So let's say that I'll capture something here. So I'm capturing. I'll share my screen first. Yes, I think it will be more interesting. Share screen 2. Okay, so let me capture this part of my screen and copy it to the clipboard. So I get it here in Quick Clipboard Editor. Now, if I want to crop this image, so instead of going to an editor and doing paste and crop and copy, and that, I can just do it from here with this command here. So it will open an image editor that you can configure. From here, I can crop selection,
Oh, that's interesting.
and then copy. And what I copy here will be
Nice.
reflected in Quick Access Pop-up in a second. So that's an easy way
Sorry,
to,
and is this like an external tool? Like
yeah,
you can choose which tool it is,
that you
or
can,
is it
yeah,
something that you?
yeah, you configure it here. So external
Okay.
image editor, and you can give some tools may have different ways to pass the file
Yeah.
path, because what Quick Clipboard Editor is doing is it saves the clipboard to a temporary file,
Calling.
and it will call the tool you configure here, passing the file path, the temporary file path as a parameter here, and this will be open in your image editor. And when you save the content of your changes here in this tool, it's a small tool, portable tool, a JPEG viewer. If you want to use it, it's very easy to configure and to use. And it does things like a lot of things. But what I mostly want to do is to crop images. That's the thing I often have to do. So all you have to do is to crop your image and then hit Control C or select a copy somewhere in this menu, and then it will be available in the clipboard, then being ready to be pasted somewhere else, or it will be kept in your history, of course, as are images uh, and text. Um, so that's just a small one of the latest changes I've done in Quick Clipboard Editor. Let's now see how Quick Access Pop-up can work with it. So when you I added a new favorite type in Quick Access Pop-up. So that is called QCE in short, or quick or command, clipboard command here. So when you add this, you will have different commands that you can select that come from Quick Clipboard Editor.
Mm.
Okay, and it is done, I would say, live between the two applications. So if you add something to Quick Clipboard Editor, you add a command, a save command, it will be available here in these commands here. So first, let me show you in Quick Clipboard Editor. I'll just restart it, make sure it's running well. Okay, so here in the saved, let me show you something simple first. Let's I'll open a text editor here, type some text. So my QAP is not, my regular QAP is not running. So I'll just start it. Oh, come on. Too many things working together. So let me, okay. Okay, so I have some text here. I'll make it bigger. There we go. So I'll copy it to the clipboard. I'll call quick access pop-up with the command change case lowercase. And when I paste it, oh yeah, I don't know why Notepad++ is weird. I'll just switch to Notepad, regular Notepad. So the text I have now is lowercase. So let
All
me do it
lowercase.
again.
Yeah.
So I take it here. I'll go in quick access pop-up. I will add a command to make it uppercase. So I'll select here uppercase, save it. And now I have this in the clipboard. Let me also open quick Clipboard Editor here so that you see what's in the clipboard live. So you don't need this, but it would just show us what's happening. So if I do change uppercase, it changes the clipboard uppercase. And then now if I paste, it pastes
Yeah.
it uppercase.
That's so
You
cool.
know,
So that's the basic commands that are. So what I've done is that I wanted quick access pop-up users to be able to use the clipboard command even if they don't have quick Clipboard Editor installed. So if
Oh, okay.
QCE is not running, I'll exit quick QCE. And if I go now to add a command, oh yeah, now I will have to restart it because I just closed. It's a beta release. There are still things that I need to be tweaked. So now if
Yeah.
I add a QCE command, the only command available are the change case command because they don't need to be configured. They can run as is.
Okay. Yeah. Those are kind of like you can use them
Yeah, it's
without that
easy. It's
other.
easy to use as is. And also the encode command that are less often used and the
Yeah.
decode commands. But when you select another type here, and now I just restart it. I'll try to remember the small bugs I find. Doing a demo is the better way to find bugs and issues. Always.
that's so
So,
true. Yeah.
okay, so
Always.
clipboard command here, because QCE is not running, I have nothing available in this command. I cannot select substring filter or sort or things like that. That needs to be configured. But I can use this command here. And if I try to use another one, let's say I would like to sort, it will ask me to install QCE. So that's the way quick access pop-up users can discover QCE, download it, install it. And when it's installed and running, let me try without restarting to see if it will work well. Yeah, so now I have all these commands available here. So I could select sort revert because it's a command that has been configured in Quick Clipboard Editor. In my saved command here, let's see my saved commands. And I'll select the sort commands. I have a command here, sort reverse order. And this command here is discovered by QAP because there are communications between the two applications using messaging. And now I can configure this command here, add it to QCE. Let me just close this, put it down here. So let's say I have some numbers here that I would like to sort. So I will in fact just click copy here to copy it to the clipboard. So now it's in the clipboard. And if I use I'll save my menu. And now let's say that I have this here and I'll just keep what I need. So I have this here. It's not sorted, but it is in the clipboard. I just copy it to the clipboard. So if I do now sort reverse and paste, it will be now sorted reverse from 6 to 1. There are some options that are available. If you go in the configuration of this command here, edit, you can select, I will put that it will copy the selected text before running the clipboard command, and it can also paste after the command has been executed. So if I do
Right.
the same,
That's a good question. Why is that not the default?
because
Like I
it's not
would.
working very well off, and it's not only because of QC, it's the clipboard, it's Windows, it's so I prefer
Yeah.
not to put it by default. And you add it if you want to use it and you see if it works well. You could
All
have to
right.
tweak with delays, things like that. So I prefer
Okay.
to make it step by step at this time.
All
If at
right. I
some point
see.
it becomes very reliable, maybe
Yes, I
yeah,
understand. I actually would suggest you, well, not suggest you, like one of our hero members, he worked with something, he's Thomas, he's a German guy who
I-
created the paragraph and app he created. And part of his main goal was to work on selected text. So we
yeah,
created a function that is extremely reliable for getting
okay.
selections across multiple types of programs. Because, for example, we saw issues with selections in Word or Outlook.
Office is
Right,
terrible.
right. Like on those, we
Excel is a
yes.
nightmare. Excel is a
So
nightmare.
in those, what we did is that we use the com object instead. So we have a
Okay.
function that has kind of like a switch statement that depending on the program you're in, the way how we copy is different.
Ah, good.
And so maybe at some point I will talk to him to see if it's okay to kind of like share with you what we did. I guess it's going to be fine because it's a function that I created for him and then
Yeah,
he
cool.
modified and updated it, right?
Cool.
So it will likely say it's okay. And if he does, like, that's a good topic that we can cover in one of the hero calls. I will show how that works. In your
Yeah.
case, I think that would help you a lot because, yeah, we noticed selecting and acting on selected text is really tricky. It's not that easy
Yeah.
Well,
And the most tricky thing is waiting for all the data to be in the clipboard
in the clipboard.
because
Yeah.
application like Excel will, when you copy something, it puts almost nothing in the clipboard and it waits for an application to try to paste the content. And it's a kind of on-demand clipboard. So Excel
Yeah.
will fill the clipboard only when it is requested, and then there are multiple formats. It will paste text, image,
Yes.
RTF, or a lot of things, and it takes time, and you never know when it's finished. So that was the
Yeah. No,
idea.
I understand. Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so just to finish this demo here, I have this selected text here, and if it works well, because it's Notepad, I think it should be okay. I will call the command sort reverse, and it will automatically copy, and I'll open QCE so that we see what's happening. So in QCE, you see it's some old stuff. So here I will sort reverse. An error occurred. Make sure text is selected. It didn't work. So let me edit. I'll remove the copy, just keep the paste. And error occur in QCS. I have a strange, yeah, bad. Windows Defender does not like application that writes to an ini file, so it checks everything, and I have issues with that. So until I put Windows Defender, I put QAP in the on the whitelist of Windows Defender, it can interfere with saving the favorites. It happens to me. I've heard from one user who had the same issue. So now I know that I have an issue that my QAP menu is broken. So sorry for that. I'll have to just restart
Jean, can you
my demo.
I mean, to me, what you just said was really really critical and fascinating. So you know specifically the Defender tool for writing to an ini file? It like looks for that? Because I've never heard that. That's really
Yeah,
interesting.
it does that. If I put the folder where the ini file is in the whitelist, you know, the exception, I don't remember the name in Windows Defender,
Uh-huh.
then it will work okay. But I'm using not my main QAP here,
Yeah,
I'm using a portable for the demo. So yeah, that's a real issue.
that's a writer downer, everyone to me. Like
Yeah.
that's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so you understand what I wanted to show you. So what I just add as maybe a last example is that let's say that I have something in the clipboard that is a list of files. I copy it in the clipboard. In QCE, you get the text version of this. So we get the full
Yes. A lot
path of
of
every file in the
files.
clipboard, okay?
Yeah.
And I can use commands like substring to just remove what I don't want and keep what I want. So let's say that what I want is just to keep the file name here, okay?
Yeah.
So removing the path and the extension. So I made some commands that do it, and I'll show you the result first. So I will add a clipboard command in the script because what I want to do required more than one command. So it's a script of a few commands. I add it to my menu, I save it, and I hope it will work well. Okay, and now if I execute this command, oh, I need to change something else here, sorry, pop-up hotkeys. For the demo, I'm using wheel right.
Hmm. I can't hit that to save my life.
So wheel right, it's open my QAP menu. That's the first time it runs, so it take a few seconds more to update the database. So here I have this command and boom, it changes the clipboard content to only the file name and it changed it to uppercase. How it's been done is that, and I've showed it to you here in QCE. Let's say that I put it in Notepad. And if I do the same command here, I'll copy it. I copy it, I execute the command, and I paste it. You know, I had to do Control C and Control V, but it was really fast, so it did this. So how it's done is that I have here in my saved commands, I'll filter those with the, so I have a command that will keep from the character 55, 54 to the end. So if I revert to close this. If I revert to what I had here, here is character 55. So I had a first command that say remove this on every line, and another command that says everything that is after a dot, remove it. So this is the second command that we have here. Delete the extension. So if I edit this, what it does, you put it away. It say remove from the beginning of dot to the end. So that's doing
Yeah.
the
I would throw a wrench on that one. What happens if your file name has two periods or more?
it's
Or worse, Geek Dude's folder.
Folder.
yeah.
The
I
folder.
agree. So it works for me in this example. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the
So
last.
there are a lot
Yeah,
of
I think that would be a regular expression, and it would be exactly what you're doing, but then with a dollar sign at the end, so that it only
you could
grabs the
do it
last
also
one.
in various ways. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And last step is to make it uppercase. So if I go in my script, this script here, not execute, edit. So this script is executing the command demo keep from 654. it executes the mode delete extension, and it does case uppercase. That's the script, and it is the script that I'm calling from QAP. So it requires a lot of setting up. So you don't do it for something you do only once a month. You will do it for
Okay.
something you use for hundreds of time. Many, when some people have very batch work to do, and it's all about automating that you care about so much. So you set up something, and then you can work much faster, manipulating the content of your clipboard.
That's very interesting because that's one of those issues that I've noticed. When I have a task that I only perform like once a month or 2 times every, 6 months, like it never occurs to me that I can automate that because of how far apart they are. Like I don't feel, I don't remember that I can do that. I don't know how to explain. Like I
Just the
don't
time to
remember that
remember
I can
how
automate them just because it is so far apart.
Yeah, remembering how you automated that a month ago is longer than doing the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
But yeah,
new
it is.
things I wanted to show you. So all this is using messaging. So there's an application, an executable in the Quick Clipboard Editor folder that is called QCE Messenger that you can call
Is that the
yeah.
same? We did a webinar on that, what, like 4 years ago, maybe?
We did the webinar on QAP Messenger, but now it is
Oh, okay.
QCE Messenger. Let me
Okay.
just show it quickly. So I am in the program files folder containing QCE, and if I run QCE here without any parameter, it will just ask to give it a command, or so there's an help file on the website. So if I do it here and I say case upper, before that I will just copy something. I will say I will copy everything here, and I will call the command case lower. And now if I paste it, it is now all lower. So that's a way. So what I'm
That's
doing with
awesome.
QAP, using the menu is just one way to pass commands to QCE. You could do it from any of your program, as long as it can call an
Yeah.
external program.
This is
So yeah, so you call
this is a
QCE
great.
Messenger, and there's a lot of commands, and you can see all these commands here on the website. So change case, executing a saved command,
That's great.
encode and decode. So let's say that you have, is there an example here? No, I don't have. When you have URLs with encoded text in the URLs and you want to just retrieve the real text, or the opposite, you want to put
Then
some text
you can
in a
encode or
URL and
decode
you
it.
want to encode, so you could use the encode or decode URI
Yeah.
to do that. So that's what.
I, you just Yeah, you just showcase two things actually. One of them is if you have several scripts that need to talk to each other, one easy way to do that is to have a module in the middle that accepts parameters like arguments, and then you do command line calls that perform the action that you want. That's a very simple way of doing that, which is basically what you will have achieved here. Like you have QAP and the quick clipboard editor trying to communicate with each other. Well, the quick clipboard manager accepts parameters. So quick access pop-up can just simply call it with parameters and it would just work. That's perfect. Now that also showcases why AutoHotkey 2.1 is actually such a great deal, because what AutoHotkey 2.1 is going to be doing is allowing you to write modules in a better and easier way, and that those modules could be shared easily. So in this particular instance, what you just showed is that Quick Clipboard Editor is one program, Quick Access Popup is another program, but there's a module that you can use in between the two which is the one that allows you to modify selected text or whatever, that is a module that you want to kind of like develop separately from both of them in a way that they can both then now use it whenever they want.
And
Does
is
that
it
make sense?
yeah, is it an exe file or a DLL file or
That's
the
a very
module?
interesting. No. So it's going to be a normal script. So in the end, if you compile it, it's going to be an exe, right?
Okay.
Now, when I talk about modules, is in this case, in this instance, that you know how you use the library folders, like include a library.
Yeah.
Well, instead of including the full module, what 2.1 is going to allow you to do is import a few functions from it. So, for example, you build Clipboard, the quick Clipboard Editor as a module, but those functions that you created in that thing, you export them. So then Quick Access Popup can include from this guy just those functions, not the whole thing, just the functions.
Yeah.
And now when you compile Quick Access Popup, you will have the functions. And you don't need the other one running.
Yeah, it replaces the messaging. Because for now, to
it
communicate with
does.
application,
right, you don't need the messaging
compile
anymore because you can just import just those things.
Yeah, and you cannot do messaging with scripts. It has to be an exe file so that the file will receive the message or be able to send. I think you could send a message from a script. Yes, you can.
Right.
But you cannot receive a message from a script. You have to. It has to be an exe file. Yeah. And just for the record, it's not Quick Clipboard Editor that is executing the command. In fact, it's a second instance that is called Quick Clipboard Editor Receiver.
Right.
That is a copy of QCE, but I don't want to interfere if you are using the front end of QCE.
Right.
You don't want it to be called and just.
That's a great tell that is a module and not actually the program itself. When you see that, when you have to run the same tool twice, because this second part, I don't want it to interfere with the main part, that is a great tell that should be a module, and that part should be out of the main program, just for you to, it makes your development easier, because if there's a bug on that section of the program, you don't have to work on the full program, just on that module.
Yeah.
And second, it's easier for sharing between other programs that need that same capability, and it would make it easier for you to do that. And in 2.1, it will be like the module has 20 functions, but QAP only needs 5 of them. I can use the import module, get those 5 functions that I care about. It's kind of like a partial include, is how I would define it. You can include part of the whole thing instead of just the whole thing and not use all the functions. You just include the functions that you're going to use. That's basically what is going to happen. I know that you're still coding MV1 in this case, but if anybody at any point decides, AutoHotkey 2.1, should I update? Well, that's one of the main reasons why.
Starting now, I would use it, but redoing what has the 30-some-thousand lines,
of course.
But for my next project, I'll consider it. Yeah.
Right. That's cool.